Welcome to the Two Dudes Talk Music YouTube channel. I am the Reverend Raff.
We did it. We made it.
Because when a band's name starts being everywhere, it can be very easy to go like, okay, like.
Just because I know what it's like to feel left out and to feel like people are weird or mean to you, and so I never want to be that person. And I want.
This here is my good friend Kyle, aka the BeerBuddy.
Big opportunity. You guys must be stoked you're on the first day too, because you can just sort of shoot. Yeah, you can just relax.
Brian was sitting down with his our longtime friend and his former bandmate Meegs from Cold Chamber, and they were having coffee, and Brian was.
When those questions go, those hearty chuckles.
You know what that laughter says to me is like, people y'all don't even know what's coming. People just are gonna be minds are gonna be blown by that.
No, it will be a fucking banger.
What's happening, everybody? I am the Reverend Raff, joined once again by my good friend Kyle, aka the BeerBuddy.
What's going on, everybody?
We are the two dudes who talk music, and we are back today with another podcast episode for you. But before we dive into that, if you are new here, we drop 6 videos a week over on YouTube. We have reactions, interviews, the podcast, all sorts of cool stuff. Sometimes we even drop 7 videos a week if there's extra cool stuff that we get. But yeah, so if you head over there and you have a good time with us today, please strongly consider subscribing. It would mean a lot to us. And we do have a Patreon as well, just a couple of bucks a month. You get everything early and ad-free. So, hey, and you get to be the first to hear about any sort of cool stuff that we're doing.
Yeah.
So, only a couple of bucks a month, but I do get that everything's tight for everyone these days, so not a problem. If you can't afford to do that or you're not up for spending that kind of money, that's totally fine as well. We're just happy that you're joining us here today for another smashing podcast episode. Just an update as well. We are still planning to be in attendance at the upcoming Nowherefest and Thrashville events, despite the change. So if you were planning to head to Nowherefest to see Botulism, who are heading over from Germany, unfortunately their visas have been denied. So I don't think they're going to be able to play it. The guys, I think they're working on solutions as to who's going to step in as headliner. But I mean, unless there's something been announced by the time this comes out, because this is being, these are recorded a little in advance sometimes. But that's what's going on there. So, a shame that Botulism wasn't able to get out, but hey, still head down there. It's a great lineup, great value. We're going to be, I'm going to be out and about for that one as well. And of course, Thrashville coming up in Newcastle soon as well. We will have links to both of these events down in the description. So please go and check them out, buy some tickets, support local music, and we will be out and about at those various events. So yeah, look, but other than that, my man, I noticed you're rocking a slightly different look there today. You have trimmed just a little bit off.
Yeah, took a fair bit off. Took about a year's worth off. I think it would have been a couple of months. Yeah, but yeah, I saw. You know what it was? It was that photo of me and you in there, and I saw the baby face, and I'm like,
you got tempted.
What?
You got tempted for that, chasing that younger look.
And I'll tell you what, I came downstairs. My kids freaked out. They didn't recognise me, and the wife was so happy.
I'll bet. Mm-hmm. They always are.
Yeah, but how you going? Other than that, how you going?
Doing mixed bag.
Yeah.
Like the wrist is doing a little bit better, slowly but surely. Getting a little bit better. I have just literally in the last couple of hours learned some rather tragic news. Unfortunately, the vocalist for Dropout Kings, Adam Ramey, has unfortunately passed away.
Oh,
this is all very sudden. I don't think there's a lot of information out there right now. A real shame. A real shame. Super, super talented member of the group. I mean, everyone in that band's amazing, but, so look, our love and our thoughts go out to Adam's family and the rest of Dropout Kings and, all of that, go in there and play some Glitch Gang or, Hawkeye or something. Just play it real loud this weekend, today, whenever you're listening to this. I know I will be, because look, it's a shame. It's a real shame. But on to kind of other things, man. I'm doing okay. Been doing a little bit of music stuff lately, in the studio, recording some vocals for some things, which is nice. I don't know how much I can talk about things just yet, but little stuff happening.
I'm still waiting for the announcement. I'm still waiting to get the full announcement on for the new digs.
Yeah, little stuff happening along the way. We want to just everyone's. Unfortunately, adult life, everyone's schedules are super crazy, but
yeah, growing up sucks.
It does. Don't do it if you can help it. Don't do it if you stay young at heart and is what we mean by that. We don't mean anything else, of course. But just yeah, try and stay young at heart and just continue to pursue your passions and make sure you make time for them because it's important. It's important. But look, we are going to get to today's guest. So this is a band that I believe you first encountered. So why don't you give everyone a little bit of a...
I've caught these lot at Ram It Down a few times, and I'll tell you what, they are a 3-piece, and they command the stage like a 4-piece, and I love every bit of it. They play a cover of from one of my favorite bands ever, Friends of Rom. When you're playing all you need is a punch in the face. You're gonna grab me straight away, and the rest of their set is awesome. So I can't wait to chat to these lot. I know
very punk, sort of punky, new punk.
They
almost
are
that Offspring kind of punk energy.
It is, but it's just a punk thing. 3 pieces that command the stage and have a big sound. So yeah. I mean, as soon as I saw them, I had to give them a card, didn't I? Because they just tore it up and they just tickled a spot that was, that hadn't been tickled in a long time.
That's great. So we're going to be jumping in right now with So I Says to Mabel.
Yes.
Always love a Simpsons reference.
Yeah.
We're going to be diving into that one right now. Big welcome to Jackie, Doug, and Jono from So I Says to Mabel. Thank you so much for joining us today. Very, very much appreciated. How are we all doing?
We're very good. We just had dinner.
Yeah, nice.
Super.
I'm a fat fuck. I love dinner. My third favorite.
He just rocked up for it. Like literally, as we were serving dinner, he just knocks on the door. It's like, bro, you didn't even help us.
My third favorite meal of the day, right behind breakfast and second breakfast.
What'd you have? Just out of curiosity.
We had crumb chicken, some chips, some salad, some bread roll, and we got banana as well.
Oh, banana bread.
Yeah, I just made it.
Fuck yeah, I love banana bread. I love good banana bread and a good schnitty too. Like loves can't get over some schnitty. That's the best. All right, so Kyle saw you guys. I've seen you guys play live a couple of times. I have not yet had the fortune to do so. But for those who may not have seen you guys or heard your stuff before, what's the elevator pitch?
Elevator pitch. I mean, if you want to go one word, we're just punk. But I don't know. What are you boys?
High energy.
Fun punk. That's what we are. Punk that can actually sing in tune. That's what
Shots fired.
Yeah,
I guess so.
I have a lot of gripe with kind of some punk bands that kind of, they play fast music but can't really sing. So I like to think that we can play good music and we can sing well.
Fair enough. I mean, look, what I was checking out this week, it was definitely giving me some Offspring vibes. I think that's a pretty apt comparison there. Like it's kind of, like the fun, high energy, just not quite pop punk, but not like traditional punk either, but also not grunge. It's sort of in that kind of space between those, like the Green Day, the Offspring kind of energy, that sort of stuff, I think. Is that sort of, I mean, what is that one of the bands that you guys draw influence from? Like where do you guys kind of getting most of your inspiration and influence?
Well, it's all different. So, Doug, you go first.
In punk inspirations, definitely Offspring. I probably lean more towards the harsher sort of sound stuff. So I like all my metal stuff as well as my punk stuff, and so Suicidal Tendencies is the heavier punk sort of thing.
Yep.
King
I
Parrot.
like to emulate. Yeah, King Parrot. Yeah. Whereas Jackie, her inspirations come from the more nicer.
Yeah, I love what you just said. Like, I grew up with Blink-182, Green Day, Sum 41, like that kind of that scene. So that's obviously like where I learned to play guitar.
That's right.
And I'm more of a metal guy.
Nice.
But all the punk stuff, like Blink-182, I guess Green Day, Suicidal Tendencies, like Doug said, and yeah.
My very first show that got me into everything was the Offspring Americana tour. I think it was like, when would it have been?
That would have been like 97 or something, right?
Yeah, 97, 98 or something like that. Maybe, yeah.
Too long ago.
Yeah, it was when the Entertainment Centre was still a thing.
Oh, yeah. I remember that one.
In Sydney. Yeah, it was amazing. And I think Eskimo Joe played when they were still real punk.
I love Eskimo Joe. You know,
It was
Americana,
great.
I actually really dig that album. Like, it's probably where a lot of the true Offspring fans maybe dropped off, but I think it's such a cool album.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
it
when they
was a shift. It was a shift.
It was, yeah, that's right. And I had the joke song in it, so. But then that's
Yeah.
it. When you listen to the older albums, there's a few kind of joke songs, like, because I pulled out the Ixnay album the other day, and there is like a weird joke song on that. I was like, ooh, it hasn't really aged very well, but.
I mean,
That
like,
album is so solid.
Smash and Ixnay are just like, I mean, they're iconic sort of that grunge punk, you know, albums of that era, absolutely. But there was a definite, obviously, clear shift to the sort of, I don't know. It's even though it was still,
it's the equivalent of Metallica's Black.
I mean, I think it was just a bit more,
Green Day-
a bit more
Green
jock
Day's
energy, a bit more jock
American-
energy about it, like the college jock energy in a like the
But it was ironic.
tongue in cheek elements of it. That way, yeah.
It was really
was. It was like accessible as well, I think. But definitely shift.
Oh, absolutely, and I mean, you know, they're one of those bands that I think you can always go back to. So if you're going to draw inspiration from anyone, absolutely, like they're a great source. And I mean, Suicidal Tendencies as well. Like that's, you know, if you're going to, again, another great band to draw inspiration from, 100%. You know, did you guys catch them when they toured a little while back?
Nah, unfortunately, no.
I hate it when it happens.
What about
'cause I've missed so
Infectious
many bands
Grooves?
this year.
Did you see Infectious Grooves when they toured?
I did not, but I'm not.
No.
Yeah, I don't really listen to Infectious
Nah.
Grooves.
Is that fair
albums, but
stuff? No.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
I know Jay Weinberg is the drummer for that one, and both bands.
Yeah.
In Infectious Grooves.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I know about him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I've been on Infectious Grooves for like 20 years now. It's awesome stuff. Like, and the fact that, you know, like Rob from Metallica plays bass for him and everything. It's like he's still getting to work with Mark and everything, or Mark from Suicidal is like so good. It's just great to see them there. So I mean, hey, you know, hopefully, I don't know if you guys are going to see Metallica. I know Suicidal Tendencies is supporting Metallica as well on the upcoming tour, so that'll be cool too. Great chance to see. I was Devo when I missed out on the Suicidal Tendencies tour, and then, you know, Infectious Grooves announced their tour. I'm like, oh sweet, I get to see that. And then they had Ty with them, and so they brought Ty out on stage for like a half a set of Suicidal Tendencies songs at the end of the Infectious Grooves set. So I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. And then I get to see him anyway when I go see Metallica. So hey, living life, having a lot of fun with that. So onto though, like the new music you guys have been working on, right? Because that is I think it's gonna be fun. I'm excited for it. I know. So it's coming out. New song's coming out tomorrow at the time of recording, but by the time this episode is out, the song will already be out. So if you haven't listened to it yet, after you finish watching this episode, go and give it a listen. Okay, stay through for the whole thing. We need the engagement on the algorithm and all that stuff. But then go and listen to the brand new song. What can people expect from the new song? You know, how was the process of writing and recording that one for you guys?
I think the new song, it's a step up, I think, from it's still along the same lines of our Make Your Mark EP, but I think it's definitely a step up in terms of like music, like musicianship, and just, it's catchy. It starts off nice, kind of quiet guitar, and then just hits you in the face with the whole band. Like, I think it's a great one.
Yeah.
Okay. Lots of fun. Is that recorded in a house? Did you guys go to a studio for that one?
Yeah, we went to Blues Studio in Windsor. He did the same EPs that we released previously.
Nice.
Yeah,
so they've already had a sense of what you guys were about. That would have made things a little easier for sure.
Yeah. So we were able to pretty much cram it into basically 2 weekends.
Yeah. And I think one extra day, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because so the guys are talking, so we've actually got an album, we did an album, so we actually recorded 11 tracks. So we did 11 tracks over the 6 days. By the end of it, we were pretty over everything.
That's a solid effort. That's a lot to cram into 6 days.
It was funny because some things were just so straightforward and easy, but then other things where you don't even, going in, you don't second guess yourself, but then that's the thing that, you have to do a million times because you just can't do it on the day or something.
And it's the simpler part.
That's right. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Well, it's always
That's
the way.
thing. You have to do them properly. There's no
Yeah.
because it's the simpler part. There's no room for error.
Yeah, that's right. That's so true.
Yeah. I mean, that's what's I found that's what's tripped me up in the past too on those simpler bits is like because it's because it's simpler, that's like errors are more noticeable because it's simpler and more straightforward. But also I think because it's a simpler part, as musicians, and it's just, I mean, obviously not everyone's going to be this, but I know this is a fault of mine. Like if I perceive it as a simpler part that I've already got in the bag, in the run up to tracking or recording, I'm not going to focus as much on it. I'm going to focus on the trickier parts, and so I might get a bit sloppy on it.
You get a false sense of security.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And and you're right. You're so right. Like going into record, sometimes the stuff that you think is going to be super challenging, you're able to get in a couple of takes, and other times it's an easy bit and you just psych yourself out on it, get a little bit of that red light syndrome, and you're just like,
Try not to get the yips.
Yeah.
There's also been a couple of times where it's like, we'll go in to record a song, and only then in that moment have Jackie and I found that we're playing something different.
Oh.
literally, okay. Literally have had that happen. Like I got to, sorry, go on.
It might be a note, so like you said, like maybe F sharp or a G, like we're playing a different note, but it might also be maybe how we're strumming it.
Yeah.
So like that can cause, like when it's live, it doesn't really matter, but on the recording, And so our producer, or it's Dave, sometimes like just looks at us like, "What are you doing? Like, sort your life out."
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, well, sometimes you might want a different strumming pattern or a counter melody or something for sure. But I completely get what you mean. Like, I used to be in a band called Tensions Arise, and we were fortunate enough to record in Los Angeles with Logan Mader from Machine Head, and we got over there for one of the songs, and the guitarists were in the studio doing their stuff, and it was a kind of a limited space in there. So, the guitarists just kind of went down there and did their thing on that day, and the rest of us chilled out. After they got all their shit down, I went in to track bass for it, and we got to one part in one of the songs, and I'm like, that didn't fucking sound right. And then we had one of the guitarists there with me to just in case of anything like this. He's like, we're playing this, and we played this, and I'm like, that's not how we've spent the last year playing that fucking song, but that's how you guys have recorded it, so that's how we're going to do it now. But it's just, these things happen, right? It's just kind of what you just kind of deal with it. You just deal with it, and away you go, But no, that's really awesome that you guys were able to sort of get so much done in such a short space of time. That's very, very efficient of you. I would be extremely frazzled trying to record that much.
Yes, but we're poor, so we had to do it.
Look, I'm not much better. I'm not much better. Trust me.
Yeah.
It's amazing what happens. It's amazing what fundage can really knuckle down and make you do.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but that's why I got a home recording set up. Just put a little bit into that, and then you can take as much time as you want, for better or worse. For better or worse, let me tell you.
True.
Okay, cool. So new single is coming out, or is out by the time this episode drops. Are you planning to release any other singles between now and when the album comes out, or what's
we hope to. We've got a few up our sleeves that we're thinking about, So
cool.
In I don't know, the second one that we're probably going to release is a bit poppier and a bit happier than the first one. So we're kind of like, we've got three things that we think, like, so the first one, Nobody Likes Millhouse. That's kind of like the standard system sound. And then the second one, it's got that poppier edge. And then the third one, we're thinking it's going to be a bit more like aggressive system. So we're trying to, spread it out, give a nice overview of our sounds.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool.
What's the artwork can we expect? Because I'm digging the artwork. Is it going to be some Millhouse kind of?
Well, the second single we're still discussing, so it might actually be our boy Doug here. Because we did a film, we filmed a film clip, and so we're at a skate park for that. And Doug's partner, who actually filmed it for us, she took some pictures and got some cool ones of Doug skating. So we're like, ooh, maybe we just use that. So I don't know, we'll see.
Nice,
awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I'm curious how you guys got started. How did you guys come? Also, sorry, before you answer that, by the way, the abbreviation to system, love it. But yeah, how did you guys all come together to like start the band? How did that all get going?
What is it? So we originally had previous members, and one of those previous members was the guy who put it together, like sent out the Facebook message sort of thing, like, hey, who wants to start a band? And so that's where, originally 5 of us met, and then within 2 weeks it was 4 of us. And then after, what is it?
Like a year or so?
Yeah, after a year, it was Jackie and I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
we
we've
kinda
had a bit of a up and a down, but then since we've had Jono, it's just been up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got together in like June 22, and then we had the lineup. Like we had the drummer and the ex-guitarist they exited, late 23, and then we got Jono in I think Jan 24. So we've had Jono on board for over a year now, and we're feeling much better and like more cohesive as a unit, I think.
Yeah.
And I was saying to the boys as well, like you can see it even in the film clip that we just did, like this new one that isn't released yet, but hopefully maybe at the time of this is released, it will be out there. But you can just see us as a band, like that we that much more connected, so it's good.
It's good.
A playful attitude, a lot less serious, even though we take things seriously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. The whole sorry, go on, Kyle.
No, you'll bring it on stage like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. How are you finding, or what were you going to ask, Raff?
No, I was just gonna say, like, it's like I love seeing when bands are like that. They take the music, they can be serious about the music, but they don't take themselves too seriously. I think that's one of the biggest issues facing of the scene at the moment is people taking things a bit too seriously.
Oh my God.
And like we perfect example, right? I don't know if you guys have seen it or not. Bloke online goes by the name of Kill Carl has released a couple of tracks that are basically about just kind of silly tracks, right? About being a metalhead and all this kind of stuff, and everyone's shitting on it. Like a lot of people are shitting on it and being like, oh, this is broke ass, like coworker ass music. Like this is what Falling in Reverse sounds like to people that don't like Falling in Reverse, and people are like shitting all over it. And I'm reading the comments. I'm like, you guys realize this is a fucking parody, right? Like if you're gonna criticize it, I need you guys to understand that it's not serious. People go, oh, I can't believe someone unironically released this. I'm like, no, it's ironic. That's the fucking point. Like, people are just, media literacy is fucking dead. People have a stick up their ass about metal music and punk music, and they want it to be super serious and like hardcore all the time. And I'm like, you guys are, people that have that attitude are what's killing the scene. Like those,
Absolutely,
they're not welcoming new people in. They're not trying to bring in like, people that might be casual fans and go, hey, there's all this other cool shit that you might like.
They're annoying when you run into them at a gig too.
Oh, the worst. The fucking worst.
So
Like,
they start yelling at you, and then you look at them and go, yes, Mr. Grown-Up Man with face paint and battle jacket on.
I just,
Calm down.
like, nothing wrong with a good battle jacket.
Hey, no, but I'm trying to paint an image.
No,
I'm a rebel and an individual. That's why I dress like everybody else.
Yeah, well, that's it.
You know.
That's it. But look, I think that's what's beautiful about punk, and there's this authenticity to it where I don't know, sometimes it does feel like people are taking it a bit too seriously at the moment, but still, like, it's still got this very fuck you attitude, which I still love, which it's punk, baby.
That's the best of it, right? Like punk is it's amplified. It's purified of, whatever energy you've got just cranked all the way up. If it's happy, and that's great. Like if it's happy and silly, then you can have fun with it, right? And do like what literally like what Silly Goose are doing, and just fucking doing like the punk new metal sort of heavy metal shit all blended into a thing. Like invading a fucking train for their film clip and shit like that, right? And then
fucking quality.
And then keep an eye out. We got a reaction coming to Silly Goose to the channel soon if it's not already out. But calling your fucking metal band Silly Goose is like just the the most tongue-in-cheek fucking thing you can do. Like it's
Yeah.
just, but
It's the right way to
But
go
if you-
about it in this day and age.
yeah, but then also you've got, like more activist type punk music that is extremely angry about what's the state of the world, and that's also perfectly valid. And they can be very serious in what they're doing and the message they're trying to send as well. And it's just very, like I said, very sort of concentrated of what it's freedom to feel what you're feeling to the fullest. I think is a great, is a way to describe it when it comes to punk music, especially. It's that freedom and individuality, and it's so important.
Yeah, for sure. I think like when you talk that, like I'm thinking of like NoFX. Like, I saw them live on their final tour last year, and you don't really see NoFX to see a good live show. You see NoFX to see the banter and the stage show, like their behavior on stage, because they're a punk band that has fun, but like along the same lines of what you just said. Some of their songs, lyrically are deep and lyrically actually have really good messages or political messages, but the way they're delivered, engages you. And I think that we kind of reflect that. I don't want to compare ourselves to NoFX because they're obviously like,
Do it, fucking do it.
Yeah,
there's no effects, but no, like, yeah.
You're the first. You're the first.
Put
So
that
I
in.
says to Mabel, is what you are.
Yeah, but like,
that
yeah,
energy
you
out
just
there.
replicate that energy and just, you can have something good to say, but you can say it in a fun way and have fun and not have to be a dick on stage and be full serious.
Well, I think that
that part of Jackie saying we're the next NoFX.
Yeah.
That's your
that-
thing.
Yeah.
that seems to be the best part about punk music is that yes, we all know we're fucked, but we may as well be having fun and then like yes, we know, but yeah, like rock and roll, baby. Let's just enjoy it and have fun with our music while we're going down and out together.
Society's
Rock
crumbling, and
Monday.
we're the fucking soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Purposes for capitalists anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's like it's so good. Even capitalists love it.
Yeah, when they can make money out of it.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I mean, we've talked about, the albums and singles and stuff you guys have coming up. What about live shows? What's going on in the sphere of live shows?
Man, we play live like every second week, I swear to God.
Yeah, sometimes 2 a week.
Yeah.
It's good.
We've got 2
Getting
this weekend actually.
Getting
Yeah.
the chops up.
Yeah. So we're lucky enough to kind of get we get asked to play with heaps of bands, which I think is really good because, often it's bands that we haven't heard of, and I'm not saying like there are any like massive names or anything, but it's just good when other bands in the scene, they've heard of you, right? So like that's good. So yeah, we're getting a heap of kind of invitations to join slots. But in terms of our own stuff, like we've got a few of our own shows coming up to kind of align with the album. So, we're going to do a headline show in October for an album launch, and we're actually super excited to go down to Melbourne for the first time in October. We're hooking up with a band down there. So we're going to do a bit of a joint tour. So we're going to head down there. They're going to come up here.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's going to be really exciting. Yeah. But yeah, as I say, like lucky enough, like I was saying to the boys the other day, like we've like all in all already, like we've got 30 gigs kind of for 2025, like either already played or kind of coming up. And that'll just only increase. So like that's heaps. Like we just kind of keep getting more and more. So but we love
What?
playing live, and that's the thing.
You've done 30 gigs.
No, like so in 2025, like we will have played 30 gigs.
Oh wow.
So we've played
Yeah.
15 so far already. So we've already got another.
Shit. That's
bunch of
mad.
Yeah.
Those are some good numbers. I mean, that's it. That's how you, especially for, like when you're really still trying to build your brand and get your name out there a lot. It's one of those things like you play and it's building your reputation as not that for the most part, I think the argument about paying your dues is mostly rubbish. I think that
Yeah.
I think there's putting the work in versus paying your dues, and I think those are two different things, right? Like I think a lot of people use the argument of you haven't paid your dues to mean, that particular band hasn't played a shitload of shows, but you don't know what the people in the band have done before necessarily, right? Like they might see a band come up and only play a few shows and then start getting international supports, right? And they'll be, why are they getting it? They haven't paid their dues. But the people that are in those bands may have had previous bands that they were doing lots of work in. They may have done a ton, put a ton of work in doing other areas. So I think but doing a lot of shows like that, it builds trust from venues and other bands because they know that you can bring people and that you're going to put on a good show and that you're going to be professional about it. You're going to promote the shows. You're going to, show up when you need to show up, get on stage when you need to get on stage, get off stage when you need to get off stage. You're not going to fucking stand there on stage like some people coiling your cables up, carefully packing away your pedal boards, taking 15 of the 20 minutes just to get your shit off stage.
Yes.
Yep.
We've all been there.
Breathe.
That's what makes them stand out, Russ. Because when they come out, they do exactly that. They get up there, and they do their job, and they do their job up here every single time.
And that's what you need. And and of course, obviously, getting your name out there with the fans as well, and the punters and the people that are out there in the scene. People that attend gigs regularly or semi-regularly. If they're seeing your name in lots of places, it starts to think, okay, cool. These guys are playing a lot of gigs. They must be pretty good because they're playing a lot of gigs. And then they'll start to pay attention, and eventually that translates, and people get this idea, and I understand the concept of it, but I think a lot of people do it too early, which is they're like, oh, we don't want to, and I will say this isn't helped by people that book the shows necessarily, but bands get this idea of they don't want to saturate the market, they don't want to play too many gigs in a short space of time in the same area, which is a valid concern. And when you've got certain venues and bookers that are like, look, we ask that you don't play any gigs for 2 weeks before or after, like any gigs in the area for that, you're like, okay, cool. But artificial scarcity only works if there's demand, and you have to be out there and get in front of a lot of people to build that fan base before that demand is there for the artificial scarcity to become a thing that is worthwhile pursuing.
Yeah. I think when promoters do that, you need to put up a guarantee. If you're going to turn around and go, I don't want you playing 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after, then there needs to be $500 on the table or whatever.
Yeah.
Compensate for that 2 weeks miss.
You're asking us to not take other gigs in that times because of your gig. We would like to be paid for that.
Yeah. No, I think it's interesting because I have said the same thing to the guys, because we do have so many things lined up, and I was like, maybe we need to actually, take a few weeks off to kind of, have people miss us. But then it's kind of like I was thinking, like, are we doing it for fun or are we doing it because we're trying to make money? Obviously, we're not trying to make, like, if we get money, that's great. But this band is about fun, right? So it's kind of like, we like playing gigs, so let's just fucking play the gigs, right?
Yeah. That's
definitely this year. Spend the rest of this year doing exactly that, and then next year reevaluate.
And it's big enough. The city's big enough. Big enough, right? Like if you're playing, Penrith, and they say they don't want you to play any, gigs either side of it, you go, okay, well, like we're gonna play in the fucking city, like that's far enough away, right? Or we're gonna play fucking Wollongong, or we're gonna go to Gosford or Newcastle or Canberra, or we're gonna go to fucking Katoomba and play Katoomba, or what? You know what I mean? Like that shit. There's lots of areas that you can play around that are not, super far away. Yeah, that still allow for you to continue to play gigs. And if you get a little circuit going, you can be. Maybe you play Penrith and then 2 or 3 months later you're back playing Penrith again. But in the meantime, you've played, a dozen gigs around at all these other places. Yeah. And that's not even touching on going interstate yet, really. I mean, okay, technically Canberra, but
well, realistically, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, you could do Burdekin, Chongs, ram it down, and then La La La's. Yeah. And that's a good spread of Sydney. And if you can spread that out over 5 weeks,
we've been in
or 4. Sorry, every 4. Like do that. You're pretty much that's guaranteed for everyone to see you.
It took me so long to realize how much of a bubble musicians exist within. Like we are, as musicians, we are music fans as well, and I am prepared to drive an hour, 90 minutes. Maybe even from Sydney to fucking Canberra to see a band that I want to see on the right day. Most people won't go that far.
No.
Most people will not go to that effort for a band that they want to see at a local level. So you have to kind of look at where the regions are and try and just keep that in mind with it, because playing like, and as you say, you're right, like if you're trying to build a brand and do all of this other stuff and make a business out of it, etc., like that's a different approach. If you guys are going, we're just having fun with it for now, playing as many gigs as we can get, having fun with it, and if something comes of it, then it comes of it, and maybe you reevaluate if that starts to happen. But if the focus is fun, fucking great. Play as many fucking gigs as you can. Get your ass up there on that stage, have fun with it, go out, and it's one of the things that like I miss a lot. Like my bands have been kind of on hiatus a bit recently, so I'm like, fuck, I'm getting depressed from not fucking getting up on stage and playing shows. Like I need that. I need my fix of that. Because it's but no, that's super cool. Any like, I know you talked about going to Melbourne. Is there any other plans? Maybe come up to Brisbane or hit any of the other states at the moment?
I mean, we've had talks.
We're going to Canberra, aren't we? At some point.
We don't have Canberra. Oh, actually, maybe. I think Canberra is booked for the album launch. Or we're trying to get that hooked up. But I don't count that as interstate. I'm talking real interstate. But no, we do want to get up, because I've heard like, there's some cool venues like Gold Coast. Like I've heard of like Vinny's Dive and the Greaser and Brizzy. So there'll be some cool things, and it's just about hooking up with the band. So I'm always trying to kind of like, suss out the scene. Like that's how we got hooked up with this Melbourne band, like just kind of getting that communication happening, getting some networking. So depends on that. But also Doug and I were talking about like, because we see some of the other bands in our scene, like in our local, like they've gone to Japan, and we're like, can we dream? So like, maybe one day we'll just kind of go up there and just play some small shows for fun. Like, who cares?
Bandmade.
If you guys go to Japan, like I don't think I could get Bandmade, mate. That's Bandmade's like fucking selling out arenas and shit, and I'm like, that's
even open for him. Just even us.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not sorry. I'm not trying to say you guys aren't like good enough to open for that. Please don't take it that way at all. I'm just like, Bandmade's playing fucking arenas, Kyle. Like you need to think about this.
Dream big, Raff.
I mean, you can hook it up for it.
But in terms of Brisbane, like I can think of, probably off the top of my head, I've got like TaylorMade Rejects. Crave. If you're talking a little further north, something like Viper Snatch would be a good fit for you guys. Foul Face would be a really good one as well. There's a lot of bands sort of, up and around, like because the Brisbane
punk
like
scene is huge.
punk, grunge, alt rock scene is fucking jumping. Like there is a lot. Greaser Bar's a great one. Obviously, Crowbar's just opened up here again in the old zoo spot. You got PFR Lounge. Vinny's Dive, which is more around Gold Coast kind of way. Like, there's so many fucking spots that are just doing, like with the dive bar energy up around Fortitude Valley up here, and it's like the scene is jumping. There's so many bands, so many gigs playing. So you guys would be like right in that pocket. I think you guys would do wonders. You get, if you guys played a few gigs up here, I think you'd really get a bit of a name for yourselves up this way, because the people that go out to the gigs in Brisbane, fucking
they want to be there.
They want to be there. They want to have a good time. They want to look at the music and see what's going on. So.
Okay, well that's 2026 plans, dudes.
Can we get a list of those bands?
I'll email them through for sure. I'll have a bit of a look on my list and see if I can get you any direct connections with some of these people as well. Because look, don't get me wrong. Since moving up here, it's been awesome. Like I moved up here almost 5 years ago from Sydney, but and it's been great, meeting and experiencing the scene up here as well. But there are some times when I'm like, see what's going on in the Sydney scene now and the energy that's coming up behind that, and I'm like, God damn! Like the fact that there's a venue out in Penrith that's regularly having rock and metal shows now. I'm like, fuck! That has to happen after I leave. Like,
I was gonna say that's our local. Like that. Like we're actually in Penrith. So
nice.
Because that was like that's where like I was like Western Sydney, like born and bred.
Nice.
Grew up around like Penrith, Blacktown kind of area, the whole deal. Like played more gigs than I care to remember at the Lucky Oz back when they were still active and doing live gigs there, and but it's just it's crazy to see. Like the scene's starting to pick up, which I really, really like. And there's lots of people doing lots of really cool shit. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's awesome. So, I mean, is there any like any other kind of special stuff that you guys have got in the works that people should keep an eye out for?
Special stuff.
Yeah.
We
Anything
mentioned the
there?
music video, mentioned the singles, mentioned the album.
We have new merch soon. That's pretty special.
Heck, new
Yeah,
merch.
mad.
Absolutely love a new merch drop.
Yeah, so that will, you know, be we're very pumped up about our album cover. I don't know, should we give away our album title name? We say that on stage a lot, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we can drop it here.
Oh,
Yeah,
exclusive.
Yeah, so our album is going to be called Make Punk Great Again because we have a song called Make Punk Great Again, and you know, the song. Oh, the voice. We did a photo. Yeah, we've got a. I don't know if you can see that.
Make
Yeah,
punk
mad.
great again. It does.
Yeah, we even have a sign.
Yeah. So we
Mpaga.
did a photo shoot with that, but yeah, because like again, like harping back to your idea about like music and fun and whatever, you know, we've got a few songs that you know lyrically are serious. But we don't want to be a political band or whatever. So, you know, and that song idea was actually, you know, it's like Doug's partner, kind of a bit of a joke. And we're like, let's roll with it. And then, you know, when we thought about the title for the album, again, it was kind of like, all right, like, let's do it.
Yeah, this will stand out.
Yeah. And so we've got really cool.
Get it on hats.
Yeah.
Specifically
Yeah.
red ones.
So we got some
That'd
really
be-
cool album artwork for that as well, like, which a mate, you know, and another band did. And he, just really fucking cool. So we're just really pumped to kind of, you know, get some merch out with that. We've got our Mabel girl, our logo.
Yep.
You know, so she's kind of there holding a sign. So it's just gonna be cool, man. Like we're just really pumped up for that.
You know what you should do? You should get like the on the Marga style hats, but do it the opposite. Do it green, so it's like the opposite on the color wheel, so that people aren't you know. So like no one's gonna wear it, like not wear it for fear of being mistaken for a Marga hat.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you just got to think outside the box on these merch ideas, right? Like
that's right.
you know.
Yeah.
But no, but look, I love that. I love the energy. I love the excitement. Like Kyle and I are getting on in years, so it's like we like we love seeing when young bands can pursuing that passion and continually chasing it, right? And like you know, not that we're the arbiters of this or anything, but it's always nice to see it because it reminds us that you know the future of the sort of Aussie music scene and the alternative scene is in good hands because there's still people that are passionate about it. There's still people that are out there, you know, making cool music, having fun with it, doing it, like focusing on the right stuff with it, not chasing trends, not doing it for the wrong reasons, just out there trying to make good music, have fun with their mates and share that with other people, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I think you guys, you know what? I would love to see you guys try and do some like collaborations with people. Like
You mentioned that.
oh, okay. Is it like
We've been meaning to record a collab that we did.
Yeah.
okay.
We've been meaning to do it for like ages.
Yeah.
Probably
like half a year for
half a year, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've got a buddy down Wollongong. He's actually a rapper.
Yeah, our mate Cameron. Cam Crest is his artist name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
he's got a bit of a punky emo, you know, like history too. So
He's got a good vibe.
yeah, so we regularly kind of like when we're down in the Gong, we'll get him on stage and we'll do some of his songs and some covers, whatever. But we actually wrote a song with him, and it's really cool because he kind of, you know, it's got our punky vibe, but his verse it's a bit of a rap. So yeah, we actually wrote that like 6 months ago. But yeah, we do.
Oh
wanna
hell
record-
yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
man.
one day
That's
we will
That's
have
exciting.
a collab.
Well, hey, look, I mean, you got that's making such like over the last couple of years, it's been making a comeback. You know, like you've got like, I mean, we mentioned him. Actually mentioned him in the intro to this one, like Dropout Kings, kind of doing like that trap new metal kind of energy. You know, you've got bands from the UK like Dead Wax doing alt grime, which is
Yeah.
mixing like that kind of UK punk rock with, you know, with grime and hip hop elements there. You've even got like Mudrat from Melbourne who's doing, you know, all kinds of like mixing the punk and the rap and hip hop energy into all together. And like there's a space for that at the moment. It's really
Yeah.
making a resurgence, and I love seeing that sort of shit. You know, the genre mixing, the blending, the whole, just the combination of it all, man. It's just so much fun. It
Yeah,
is.
yeah, definitely.
And you know, whenever you can get something like that, you can always do something interesting stylistically, right? Like you can take some chances. So
Yeah.
that's awesome, though. I mean, I'm keen. So that one's not going to be on the album, though.
No, that's not on the album, but it will probably be a standard alone release. But yeah, we gotta.
That's the best way to do them ones.
Yeah, that's
Get it
what's
done,
fun.
get it recorded, get it out, do a live video or something of it just when you're playing it together or recording it together. And
Yeah. Ideally, like I would love to get it out this year. So yeah, we just need to hit a studio.
We should actually do it.
Yeah, we need to record it, but yeah, we'll do it.
well, the beautiful thing is if you know the parts that you just want him to do, you could pretty much probably record most of it, send him the track, and then
True.
they can just do their thing, and then you get it back and then finish it off, and
Yeah, true.
it's done and dusted.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing about rappers. They can work in their own space and time, and it still sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
Awesome. Well, look, thank you so much for chatting with us today, guys. We really, really appreciate that one. We'll be wrapping the podcast now, but don't fret. We will have a quick question quarter and get in the bin coming on this weekend. So make sure you come back to the channel for those. Go and subscribe follow. Sorry, I'm drinking my Pepsi and I'm getting burps and everything. We're gonna have
System Mabel.
We're gonna have links to all of So I Says to Mabel's stuff. That is really hard to say. I see why you guys abbreviated the system. Yeah. We're going to have links to all of System stuff down in the description. So go and follow them on all the places, listen to all the stuff, listen to the new track. Everybody hates Millhouse. Sorry.
No, nobody likes
I got it right
Millhouse.
the first time. What am I? Nobody likes Millhouse. It's going to be out now by the time this episode drops. So go and listen to it. I know I will probably have bumped it at least a dozen times by now. And yeah, follow them on all the things. If they're playing at a place near you, go and see them. And make sure you stream the album when it comes out later this year. But like I said, that's all for today. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. We really appreciate it. If you have a good time with us today, please consider hitting that like button. If you didn't, downvote the shit out of it. And remember, my name is Raff, joined with my good friend Kyle, a.k.a. the Beer Buddy, along with Jackie, Doug, and Jono from So I Says to Mabel. Thank you very much, guys. Take care of yourselves and your mates, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.
See you later.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We really hope you had a good time. If you did, please consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell down there. It helps the channel grow. We are still a fairly young channel and we like to try and grow our audience all over the world. We do also, for those of you who are interested, have a Patreon. It's just a couple of bucks a month. At the moment, you get all the videos early and ad-free, but we are working on ways to increase the value of that and make it a bit more enticing. So don't forget to keep an eye out and check back on what's going on over there. Other than that, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day.